So here we are by the artist snare. Thomas, I know you've got a couple of your specials here, so perhaps you'd like to take us through these.
Yeah, so we moved the artist snares from the Black Panther line to the Design Lab line.
Okay.
Right, so like for instance, I had my Versata snare before, but it had the Saturn lugs on it, and it was a BP drum. So now with Design Lab, we went and moved it in design. So now they have the iLug, the locking iLug, which is a tube lug. Everything is upgraded. It's kind of the best of everything. They feature the GS, the Trick GS series. These are the 3-stage series throw-offs. Very high-end, very, of course, industry standard level thing.
That's a lovely throw.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. So I have two models. I have the 4 and 5/8, which is similar to what I had before, but now with the iLug.
Yep.
And then in the peach pearl finish, like the Design Lab, like my drum kit. But this is the same drum as far as that's concerned, except for the trick.
Yep.
So 4 and 5/8 by 14 inch maple mahogany. It's got the extra deep snare bed. It's 2.7, and they're wide. They're 5.5 wide. So it's a gradual movement down to the depth, right? You ever have a snare head that wrinkles in here?
Yeah, yeah.
That's because it got too quick to the depth of the snare bed, and the head can't handle it.
No.
Right, so it's a more gradual, longer snare bed width.
Cool.
Right, so this is the 4 and 5/8, and now there's a 6.5. So we have the 6.5 by 14 version, same shell formula, a little bit different venting to maintain the 6.5 dryness, and but same shell formula. And a lot of people love the Versatis, and they said, I'd love to have a really deep version of it. So
yeah.
I thought, this is great. And I use this under my hi-hat. Like, I kind of do the opposite. Most people use a regular snare here and like a high-pitched one under here.
Right, yeah.
I kind of do the opposite.
Yeah. And is that kind of mid-tuning or low-tuning on that sort of?
Yeah, I do like a mid-tuning on almost all the snares. I do like a mid to mid-high at the most.
Okay.
And I kind of allow the drum to do what it's going to do, you know? Because if you crank a drum up, they all sound the same.
Exactly right.
Yeah, so you want to just get the shell character, you want to get the shell moving, and just go, what does this drum do? And that's why we have so many snares, because they have a voice and they have a sound, and you want to allow them to do what they're going to do, you know? So my good friend Jeff Hamilton, he created the Maximus snare. This is a 6 by 14, all mahogany rings, but it has a Versatis style snare bed, deeper snare bed.
Okay.
It's got a 45 and a 35 on the bottom, a little bit deeper width, different venting, trick throw off. So very similar. It's a beautiful drum. It's very articulate in the low end, and you know, it works for just playing really, really well. Yeah. And then Craig Blundell, from your side of the pond, this is the Machine, and he's got a really great snare, the Equalizer Pure Sound, which takes the snares away from the impact point on the top and on either side of the impact point, which is really cool.
Yeah.
This is walnut maple, and staggered lugs, so really wide tuning range, and different venting, sonic saber hoop. And then Chris's drum is basically the same drum, except for now it has the iLugs. And these are locking iLugs again. Sure. And this is the 12-inch, it's all walnut, and the same thing. But now this has, if you had the other one, it didn't have a pure sound snare, didn't have the trick throw off, everything's been kind of upgraded.
Brilliant.
Yeah, and I love this. This is one of the best sounding small diameter snares. It really sounds like a snare. You know, sometimes you get really small diameter drums, they sound like a popcorn machine.
Yeah, sure. Hey, listen, Russ, thank you so much for taking us through it. It's always good talking to the professionals about it rather than me waffle on and not the time I'm talking about.
Well, I love you guys' store, man.
Bless
I'll see you guys when I get back over there, okay?
Thank you. Cheers.
Right.
Thank you very much.